Hello everybody, welcome back to Simply a Breeze. My name is Bree if you are new here, and today we are going to be doing two things. We are going to be getting pizza, homemade pizza in the oven so we can have dinner, but also we are gonna go to Costco tomorrow and restock our freezers because we are 100% out of chicken. So if we're gonna go to Costco, we might as well cross a couple things off our list and make sure we have everything we need, because I don't like going to Costco every month because it is expensive and it's so easy to spend a bunch of money at Costco. So we are going to get a game plan established for going to Costco tomorrow, but we're also gonna get pizza going as well. So this dough I actually made about a month and a half ago, and it's actually been in my freezer. I pulled it out this morning to thaw in the fridge, and it is now ready to go. So all we need to do is roll it out. I have shredded up some cheese. It's just cheddar. And then I have some pepperoni ready to go. The next thing that I need to do is dice up some olives because we absolutely love olives on our pizza. Maybe. Let me go check the basement. All right, we have olives, which is fantastic. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these olives diced up, and then we're gonna get our pizza dough rolled on out. So I typically bake my pizzas in rectangle format simply because that's just what works. And then I get maximum pizza. But also, most people don't necessarily have like a pizza stone or a pizza pan. So use a baking sheet because it doesn't matter what shape your pizza is. Pizza turns out amazing. So hopefully this encourages you to make pizza regardless. There's the first piece of parchment paper. And what we're gonna do is we are going to go ahead, we got some flour right here. We're gonna grab our parchment paper. And I am actually going to lay out some flour on this parchment paper. And then we're gonna divide this dough in half. And the reason we're dividing this dough in half is because we like the thinner crust. The crust on this will get decently thick with the shape of the pizza we're about to roll out. And I have found if we just cut it in half, it is the perfect thickness when cooked. I will link the recipe for the dough that I used. I believe it's from scratchpantry.com. And we will just put this back in the bag for now while we get this guy maybe rolled on out. All right, we got some shape going. I will say this is actually really difficult to do on parchment paper. I always like to try, but then when I start rolling it out, I get very discouraged. So we're just gonna make the countertop dirty. I did clean it. It is thoroughly cleaned. We're gonna get our dough squared up. Oops, nope. If you've never made homemade pizza with homemade dough, it's absolutely amazing. Highly recommend. Oh, I remember this getting bigger. We might have a nice thin crust pizza today. I'm curious what I did differently. It's fine. And I gently pick the dough up so we don't rip it. There we go. Fantastic. And it does shrink back down once you open it on up. So I'm going to shape it a little bit. I'm curious what I did differently with this dough. Kind of do what, you see iconically when it comes to pizza shops. I'll do this just to make sure it is nice and stretched out. You're going to need to slide this a little. Fascinating. So we're going to let this rest while we roll out the other piece. I'm wondering if the dough I divided last time was a double batch, and that's why I did what I did. I don't know. We did put some holes in this guy, but it should be okay. The other great thing about our homemade pizza is I use our homemade marinara sauce from our homegrown tomatoes, and it is fabulous. And so then I'm going to take a spoon and I'm just going to spread some sauce on both of these crusts. And I do like to roll up our edges just a little bit. It's just a little curl. I don't do anything like super fancy. You usually do this before you add the sauce, but it'll work just fine. And I'm rolling it and pinching as I roll to make sure that the dough stays in place. And then we just top it with some cheddar. I do like to add some some mozzarella to this. However, we don't have any. So this is what we get. I try to spread out the cheese so it covers most of the pizza. The thing is, when you make pizza from home, Just be careful because the cheese will turn the top of the pizza real greasy. So going overboard on the cheese can have that effect. So just try not to go too terribly crazy on the cheese, unless you're okay with the grease. If you're okay with the grease, more power to you. We're gonna add our olives. And it's at this point, you can kind of top the pizza with whatever you want. These are just things that Reed and I really enjoy on our pizzas. So that's what I'm doing. Normally we also add onion, but we are actually out of onion. So no onion for us today, but that's fine. Last thing I'm going to add to this is some sausage. This is pre-cooked sausage that I have in the freezer. I'm just gonna spread it around a little bit. All right, we've got our 2 pizzas ready to go into the oven. And the oven is set to 425, and we are gonna bake these probably for about 15 minutes. There's a cast iron pan in here, so let me get that out. There we go. Let's see if we can get these to fit in here side by side. Nope. We're definitely gonna have to put one on top and one on the bottom, and then we'll switch them about halfway through. All right, so I got the kitchen kind of put back together. We've still got dishes in the sink, but that's fine. I wanted to do this with you while we were waiting. So I know for a fact we're 100% out of chicken. So I'm gonna make sure I put chicken on there, and then I'll discuss with Reed to see what cuts he wants. Maybe we'll just get chicken breasts and chicken wings, or maybe we'll get chicken breasts, wings, and thighs. To be determined. We are good on bacon. We don't need beef. Good news, I will be walking you guys through the cuts of meat that Reed and I are gonna get from our half of a cow and our whole pig. Reed and I purchased half a cow about 2.5 years ago, and it is officially gone. And so we are excited to get another half a cow because it is gonna last us a while. And then a whole pig, we've never ordered a whole pig before, but with as much bacon, breakfast sausage, and pork chops as we buy, I would very much like to support a local farmer instead, and the price was affordable, so we have a whole pig on the way as well. But we do need chicken because I cannot find a good place to get chicken around here that is within my price range, or it's within my budget, I should say. I understand raising animals is an expensive thing, but right now I just cannot financially afford the cost of a free range pastured chicken from a local rancher. We need cheese. So part of the other reason that we need to go to Costco, and we're not just out of chicken, but I have plans to get a little bit of meal prep done. And we have a recipe on the list for at some point this month that we need to go to Costco for. We're gonna see if we can get a variety of cheeses because I wanna make homemade mac and cheese. I have made homemade mac and cheese once since I've been an adult living on my own. And it's something that I've been craving. Reed's been making box mac and cheese, and I'm like, you know what? If we're gonna have mac and cheese, we might as well go big. So I wanna make some homemade mac and cheese. So we need to get a variety of cheeses, and I don't currently know what those are gonna be. But I will let you know when we get them. We also, I think we're good on pasta, we're good on coffee. I would like to find eggs at Costco if at all possible. My Costco's, at least the last time we checked a month ago, they didn't have any eggs. Like completely no eggs. The state of Colorado did pass the law that any egg being sold has to be considered a free range or a cage-free egg. And so now a whole bunch of like manufacturers, some don't even meet the criteria in the state of Colorado, and so I don't know if that's part of it. I know the bird flu was a whole thing at one point. So we don't know if Costco has eggs or not, but I'm really hoping they do. What else? We probably need some broccoli. I like to get my frozen veggies at Costco. I get a bigger pack and it's about, I believe it's cheaper. And so that's where we're going to get that. We are good on vinegar. We are good on pasta. We need tortillas. I am planning on making some breakfast burritos. So if you do not know, if you are new, Reed and I are hunters. We are new to hunting, but we have been hunting the last 2.5, 3 years. And turkey season here in the state of Colorado, spring turkey opens next week. And so because of that, we're gonna have a lot of early mornings. I need breakfast. I am a breakfast girl. So I wanna get some homemade breakfast burritos in the freezer for me to just grab and go because we need that convenience. But because of that, we're gonna need quite a few tortillas. It's also why we need the eggs. And we're not gonna get our pork from the butcher for about another 2.5 weeks. So I am gonna have to buy some breakfast sausage to put in those breakfast burritos. Let's see, we got the mac and cheese. Costco doesn't sell a macaroni noodle. I can find a macaroni noodle at our local grocery store. That's not a huge deal. I know there's something else that I need to get, and I don't know what it is. So let me go peruse around. But on the list for sure needs to be breakfast burrito items, mac and cheese items, eggs. I eat eggs every day. Plus we need eggs for the breakfast burritos. So let me go check on our pizzas. It hasn't, I think it's only been like 5 minutes. But if they need to be rotated, I'll rotate them as well. We could use some more snacking items, especially if we're going to be out hiking around for several hours. We're going to need something that we can pack with us. So I'll get us some snacking items like trail mixes and maybe some nuts, some fruit bars or something like that. Maybe a couple meat sticks. We have jerky in the freezer, so we don't need those. So as of right now, that is on my food list. The other items that we need that I would like to find for us is one of those like shoe mats, and it like if your like boots have snow on them and as they melt it like traps the liquid and it keeps it from going everywhere. We need another one of those, so I'm gonna put that on the list. I need dental floss. I'll see if they have any dental floss that I like there. What do you think, Boots? What else do we need? He's good on food. We're good on kielbasa. I think that's it. That should be all we need for our freezer restock and to get us prepared for some freezer meals that we're gonna make ahead. But as always, when you go to Costco, you always find more than you need. So I'll show you what we get tomorrow. Perfect. And the crust on this is nice and crisp. That one isn't. So we're going to put that one back on the bottom. Just look at that pizza. The color is great. It does have some grease on it, but that's just the nature of homemade pizza, but it's still going to be phenomenal. Because we're only going to eat one at a time, we're going to slide this onto a cutting board so this can cool just a little bit more. We're going to let the cheese kind of stop being all bubbly before we cut into it. just like that, we have a wonderful homemade dinner that I am super excited to eat. And I will see you guys tomorrow with the Costco haul. Just so you know, I added some more stuff, like tuna. We're low on tuna. So I guarantee that list is going to be even bigger tomorrow. But if I can plan it now, maybe I can keep my spending from being too excessive. Hello, we are back from Costco. We did get some things that weren't on the list, but that's okay. So let me go ahead and show you what all we got to restock our freezers, to have some convenience items on hand, to help us out with while we're hunting. So some snacks that we're gonna want to reach for, and then some things that we needed so we can get some meal prep done, like make breakfast burritos, get some mac and cheese in the freezer, and we were completely out of chicken, so we had to restock on chicken. So let me show you what we got. So first up, we got some oranges. These oranges per pound, I believe, are cheaper than getting the oranges at our local grocery store. Plus, the great thing about oranges is they travel really well. We can throw them into a backpack and they don't need to be refrigerated. We can eat them as is. So oranges are a must. I said we were going to go ahead and make some breakfast burritos, so I needed some more breakfast sausage. I did mention earlier that we did purchase a half or a whole hog. However, we're not going to get it in time for me to make those breakfast burritos before hunting season starts. So we needed some breakfast sausage for that. I also eat breakfast sausage about a couple times a week to have with breakfast for high protein, so it will get eaten. It is not wasted. Tuna. The Safe Catch tuna from Costco is my favorite tuna. It's also the cheapest price. I can't get this at any of my grocery stores for less than like $4 per can, whereas this is $12. It comes with 6 cans, so it's about closer to $2 per can. We needed tortillas for our breakfast burritos. I am trying to heal my gut, and so I got us some raw probiotic organic sauerkraut, which I'm super, super excited for. We needed cheese. I mentioned I want to make homemade mac and cheese. Their cheese selection at Costco this time was actually pretty small and lacking. Normally they have like a lot more varieties, but not this time. So we got a couple of these. Typically I just like to shred this, so I may go to my local grocery store later on in the week and get some cheeses. I probably didn't need the Costco portions anyways, and so that probably worked out for the best. Cheese sticks are an absolutely wonderful thing for us to have on hand as well. We can also throw these in a backpack and have a really good snack with us while we are hiking around. I got some wholly avocado, mashed organic avocado, and this is just to supplement a good quality fat to have with my breakfast, and so I'm excited to give this a try. I have not tried it before. So now let's go to the other side and I'll show you some very impulsive buys. So we saw tortellini, and I have not had tortellini for quite some time, and it just sounded really good. We would like to use this with some like Alfredo and stuff. And the great thing about this is I actually throw these tortellini into the freezer until I'm ready to use them. So this package of tortellini is quite the steal. We did impulsively buy some chomps because we do really like them, and my Costco actually had them this time. They've been out for a while. We saw them there. This is also a much better deal than if we got it at our local grocery store. Because we're going hiking around, we want some easy access electrolytes ready to go. Reed loves his Ritz crackers. They are cheaper to get at Costco. So we just got a whole big thing of them, and they are gonna last us a while. We also did go ahead and get more Poppy. It was a choice between getting sparkling water or getting the Poppy, and Reed will actually drink the Poppy. He's not a huge fan of the sparkling water, so we went ahead and got the Poppy. I do like this as a nice treat, but I won't drink it the same way I would drink a sparkling water. Our chicken. So I mentioned earlier we are completely out of chicken. We have absolutely zero chicken in the house. We love to have the chicken wings on hand because those are nice. And then I purchased chicken thighs with the bone and the skin because they are $2 cheaper a pound. I don't mind the bone being there. It's not a huge deal to either one of us. Reed didn't care either. So we get the bone and skin on chicken thighs. And then we did get a package of chicken breast to restock our freezer, and then this is going to last us several months. I think it's been at least like 3 or 4 months since we bought chicken from Costco, so it's worth the investment up front. Again, an impulse snacky item. These are the better fruity snacks. They still aren't great, but if we're gonna get a fruity snack, this one's fine. They also had corn dog samples. I do love corn dogs, we just don't keep them on hand. Reed absolutely loves the corn dogs, and so he was really excited, and this is what he wanted. And I mean, why not? Why not have corn dogs on hand? He'll take these for lunch and he'll have them as snacks and stuff. We may actually have them for lunch today because we don't have any leftovers. So I'm super excited about that. And our Costco finally had eggs. Our Costco's been out of eggs for almost 2 months. So I was really excited to get this because, again, we're going to be making breakfast burritos, but also I have eggs every day, at least 2. So 5 dozen eggs will last me a whole month, and I will go through them. So I'm super stoked that they had them back. They are, I wouldn't say they're the most expensive they've been, but they're still pretty expensive in terms of what they used to be a couple years ago. These eggs were $19.19, which still equates to just under $4 a dozen, which I'm totally fine with, because I can't get a dozen eggs at my local grocery store for less than $7 right now. So this is still a steal, and so I can't complain too much. But overall, this haul to restock on chicken, get us some snacks, restock on cheese, and prepare for some meal prep cooking that I'm going to be doing ahead of time, or here in a little bit. We came out of Costco at $309. But again, this chicken's gonna last us a while. This is gonna last us a while. The eggs are gonna last me all month. The sausage is gonna last us, and it's all stuff we're going to eat. So I don't mind spending this money because it's going to last us a while. So I'd love to hear what you get at Costco and what some of your favorite things are, how you go ahead and stock up for either big cooking days or just to get you through the month. But I'd love to hear from you. So I will see you guys next time. We are maybe doing some meal prep or we're in the garden. Bye guys.